The next part is domain and range, and the best way to do that is to graph it. So for this first one, y equals 4, you're just going to go up to 4 and draw a horizontal line at 4 because all y equals lines are parallel to the x-axis. So the domain for this one, its domain includes all the x values. So whichever x values are included is the domain. So this domain has all, so it's going to be all reals. And that's a symbol for all reals. The range is the y values included. And this one, it's only going to have 4 included in the range, so the range is just y equals 4. This one, to tell if it's a function, you just do the vertical line test, and if it only passes once, then you know it's a function. This one's only ever going to pass the graph once, so yes, it's a function. For this next one, x equals 7, you're just going to go out to 7, and you're going to draw the line, because all x equals lines are parallel to the y-axis. Now the domain for this one is only going to be 7, because it's only going to 7. So it's just going to be x equals 7. The range, this one's going to include all reals, because it's going to go up and down forever to all y's. So it's going to be all reals. This one, the vertical line test, if you hit it right on x equals 7, it's going to hit all the points on the graph, so it's not a function. This next one, you have to look at it as taking the square root of this side, since it's y squared. And y squareds are always going to be sideways parabolas. So when you take the square root, it's plus and minus. So you have to draw the top and the bottom of the parabola. And it's going to be x plus 1 under the parabola. And since you can't have anything less than 0 under the parabola, it all has to be greater than negative 1. So it's all going to go this way and all going to be greater than negative 1. Because anything less than negative 1 is going to be negative under the parabola, under the radical, and that's going to create a imaginary number. So the domain for this one is just going to be x is greater than or equal to negative 1. Because they're all going to go that way. And the range, this is going to go up and down forever, so the range is all reals. And this one, when you do the vertical line test, it'll hit more than once, so it's not a function. For this one, this is a circle. And the way you tell how to graph the circle is the numbers, the coefficients, will give you where the center of the circle is, and since there's nothing there, it's going to be at 0, 0 at your origin. And then to get the radius of the circle, you take the square root of the number over here, whatever number it equals. The square root of 16 is 4, so it's going to go out to 4 on all 4 sides, and you're going to create a circle like that. So then the domain of this is only going to be from negative 4 to 4. So domain, negative 4 to 4. And it's inclusive, because these two are both included. The range, the same thing. It's only going to go from negative 4 to 4. Now, so if this is a function, you do the vertical line test. It's more than once. It's not a function. For this one, to find the vertex of this parabola, you can do x equals negative b over 2a. So for this one, the b is negative 2, so it's going to be just 2 over a is 1, so 2. So you're going to get x equals 1. Then when you plug x back in, 1 squared minus 2 times 1 plus 1 gets you 0. So it's going to be at 1, 0. And then you know that this parabola goes upwards instead of downwards because it's a positive x squared. Now the domain of this one, it's going to go out everywhere on both sides, all the way out. So the domain is going to be all reals. The range, it's only going up from 0, so the range is y is greater than or equal to 0. Now this one, vertical line test, they all work. So yes, it's a function. For this one, you have to look at what's inside the radical. And inside the radical, you can never have a negative because you'll get an imaginary number. So you have to set this equal to 0 and figure out what you can have. So x squared minus 16 equals 0. So then x squared equals 16. Then x equals plus and minus 4. So now you know that you're going to have x values at, you're going to plot points at -4 and +4. And then from this, you have to tell whether it turns outwards or inwards. And the way that you know whether it turns outwards or inwards, you test the number. So let's pick 0. If you plug in 0 here, you're going to get a negative, which is imaginary, so you know that this graph couldn't include 0, so you know that they go outward. So now the domain of this, the x's all less than -4 are going to be included, and the x's all greater than -4 are going to be included. So the domain is x less than or including -4 and x greater than and including 4. The range, everything above 0. So y is greater than or equal to 0. It's a function, yes. It's a function, pass the vertical line test.